I was an iron worker for 38 years. I became vice president of Local 489 in 1993. And in 1996, I ran for president and won. And I became a business agent in 1996 and president of Local 489. In 1998, I took over as business manager of Ironworkers Local 489, and I was the business manager for 10 years of Scranton, Wilkes-Barre, and Hazleton. We had 12 counties that we were in charge of.
Okay, so one of the questions is what were the working conditions like when you were building the malls and the Abington Heights Middle School?
The working conditions, they had OSHA standards, which was an OSHA representative would come around and check on the job and write us up if there was any faults on the job or anything that they seen, which at that time I think there was 1 or 2 write-ups for handrail and also on the crane not being protected all the way around. So there was 2 write-ups on that. And in Abington, there was no write-ups. The working conditions were excellent, and the people on the job all qualified iron workers.
How was pay determined for different projects for workers?
Prevailing wage is standard throughout the state, and it's a federal wage. And what happens is when you get on these jobs, you have to pay prevailing wage, which is a standard federal wage.
Okay. Did you ever experience or organize negotiations that may lead to a strike? What is the process like starting or organizing a strike, if you did?
When you're negotiating contracts for your members, you present to your members what you think you should negotiate for. You bring this to the Contractors Association, you sit down with them, and then you discuss it. And you have 3 different meetings where you would present what you wanted and then let them take it back to the contractors and let them see what they're going to do, if they're going to accept or not. Then they would come back, we'd have another meeting, and we'd negotiate over what we discussed, and either they would accept or not, or we would accept or not. And if it wasn't accepted, then a strike would be proposed. And then you would bring it to your body, and it had to be presented to the body twice. It had to come up for a vote, and the majority had to vote on that to see if there was going to be a strike or not.
All right. What was it like being in union leadership? What responsibilities did you have? Did you ever experience criticism from workers, and how did you handle it?
You're never going to please everybody. Yes, I did. There was people that wasn't too pleased, and there was people that were pleased, and you need a majority when you're running for office, just like anything else, but you're never going to please everybody. And no matter what you do, it's not always going to be the right thing for everybody. So yeah, there was disputes and arguments, and we got over them.
All right, and this is our last question that we have. What were some of the union struggles in the past and more recently?
In the past, the working conditions, and there was no OSHA. When I first became an iron worker, you didn't even have to wear hard hats or belts or no safety lines or nothing when I first broke in. And then gradually, as time went on, I would say maybe after 15 years in the business, they started saying you had to wear hard hats and and then it became 100% tie off later on, and now that's what it is today. It's 100% tie off and hard hats and safety devices throughout.
All right. Thank you very much.
You're welcome.